General drug classification.
Okay, good evening everyone. Drug classification based on chemical makeup. So alcohol is the most widely abused substance across most of the world, including in the United States. Legal to some extent in all 50 states, alcohol impacts numerous body systems and causes a host of effects in the user. Alcohol creates feelings or euphoria and lowers inhibitions, but it also severely impairs judgment, perceptions, and reaction times. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant, but it causes the most severe long-term damage to the liver. There are many forms of alcohol, including beer, wine, and liquor. So those are example of alcohol. So when it talks about alcohol, it takes ng ang ang alcohol is kanang maka cause of negative impact sa imong body, which is tapoy mga alcohol nga kanang good siya sa imong body. And then ang alcohol kasi ay kanang ginagawang libangan ng mga tao, lalo na kapag sila ay broken, something like that. Euphoria is the experience or the effect of pleasure or excitement at an intense feelings of well-being and happiness. So people often turn to drugs and alcohol for an easy escape from reality, a few drinks to take in their mind of a rough day at work, a few pills to get fleeting sense of euphoria in an otherwise stressful world. So the negative impact of alcohol abuse linger long after the high wears off, from the short-term side effects to long-term irreversible damage. Addiction impacts every part of the person's life, and sometimes the consequences can be deadly.
So good day everyone. So let's talk about the opioids. So opioids are either derived from the drug opium or from chemicals designed to mimic it. Opioids work by acting on receptors in the brain, sometimes by mimicking the effects of neurotransmitters. So this can enable opioids to serve as powerful painkillers, but also can cause feelings of intense pleasure and lead to addiction. So, opioids addiction is one of the most serious problems faced by America today. So, opioids are some of the most addictive of all known substances, and they are also some of the deadliest. Some of the most well known opioids include heroin, fentanyl, and oxycodone. So, opiates are a class of drugs that includes the illegal drug heroin, as well as a power pain relievers available by prescription. So it is a substances that act on opioid receptors to produce morphine-like effects, and medically they are primarily used for pain relief. So including example of this is anesthesia. So that's it.
So let's talk about benzodiazepines. So benzodiazepine, it's called benzo. So benzo interacts with GABA differently, which each benzo impacts the body and mind differently. Benzo are prescribed to treat a wide variety for psychiatric deep condition, but they are very commonly abused. So benzo are highly addictive and can cause numerous medical and psychiatric problems when not used as intended. So benzodiazepines are the class of drugs primarily used for treating anxiety, but they also are effective in treating several other conditions. So, the exact mechanism of the action of benzodiazepine is not known, but there are appear to work by affecting neurotransmitter in the brain, chemicals that nerves release in order to communicate with other nearby nerves. And benzodiazepines are used for treating anxiety and panic, convulsion, and insomnia or trouble sleeping. So the example the example of benzodiazepine is one is Ativan. So Ativan also used for anesthesia, and Valium is also used for muscle relaxation. And three, Xanax. So Xanax is used to anxiety disorder and anxiety caused by depression. So Xanax is also used to treat panic disorder with or without a fear of places and situations that might cause panic, helplessness, or embarrassment.
Cannabinoids are a class of drugs that are chemically similar to tetrahydrocannabinol, known as THC, the active agent in marijuana. Ang cannabinoids makita na siya sa bulak sa marijuana dili sa iyang dahon. Same lang sila effect sa THC nga makahay. Cannabinoids create feelings of elation known as a high, but they also negatively impact mental and physical function. Bali, ang cannabinoids kay maka-create og kalipay sa tao, pero naani siya mga side effect sa atong lawas like cardiovascular disorder, cognitive alertions, and mood disorder. Cannabinoids are the most widely abused drugs after alcohol, and they are increasingly gaining legal acceptance. Although considered less addictive than other drug classifications, cannabinoids can seriously damage a person. Marijuana or cannabis is a drug which is more made from dried leaves and flowers of the hemp plant and which can be smoked. Hashish is an extract of the cannabis plant containing concentration of the psychoactive resins.
Barbiturate act of the central nervous system by slowing down the functioning. Barbiturates are a derivative of the chemical barbituric acid. Barbiturates are historical popular for treatment of the psychiatric of a sleep disorder, and they are still used for amnesia and treatment of the condition like epilepsy and headaches. Barbiturates are highly addictive, and they also present a very high overdose risk, as they cause many body systems to shut down. Example: amytal, luminal, pentobarbital. Barbiturates is a group of sedative psychotic medication used to treatment or seizure disorder, neonatal withdrawal, insomnia, preoperative anxiety, induction of the coma, or increased infractal pressure. Barbiturates are a group of drugs in the class of drugs known as sedative hypnotics, which we generally describe their sleep, including and anxiety decreasing effects. Barbiturates can be extremely dangerous because the correct dose is difficult to predict. Even a slight overdose can cause coma of death.
Drug classifications based on effects. So, depressant, more commonly referred to as downers. Depressants create feelings of relaxation and tiredness. While many serve legitimate purposes in the fight against mental illness, sleep deprivation, they are commonly abused because they may also create feelings of euphoria. Depressants are not only some of the most highly addictive drugs, but they are also some of the highly dangerous and likely to cause overdose. So, ang depressant is commonly referred known as downers. Isa sa pinaka maka-addict nga gamot nga ginatake sa tao. ug isa sad ni siya sa mga pinakadelikado nga droga na pag maabuso nimo ni siya og gamit, pwede ka ni ma-overdose. Ug mag-take ka ani, ang bation jud nimo always kay kakapoy og relaxation. Ug ang example sa depressant kay alcohol, opiates, barbiturates. That's all.
Hi ma'am, my topic is stimulants, also known as uppers. The primary use of stimulants is to increase energy, concentration, and wakefulness. Stimulants are said to provide a rush. In the short term, stimulants are believed to increase productivity and performance while producing an excited high of pleasure. In the long term, stimulants are incredibly addictive and have a very potential for abuse. Example of stimulants include Adderall, cocaine, and meth, and stimulants are class of drugs that speed up messages traveling between the brain and body. They can make a person feel more awake, alert, confident, or energetic. Stimulants include caffeine, nicotine, amphetamine, cocaine.
So, good evening everyone. So, I am Harvey James Chicabello and I will report the hallucinogens. So, alter the user perception of reality. Often, these result in auditory and visual hallucination, a process known as tripping. Although, hallucinogens are generally less addictive than other drugs classification, their immediate impact are generally more severe and dangerous. Examples of hallucinogens is LSD, then psilocybin mushrooms o kanang makita na to sa kanang mga example kanang nasa tayo sa Kabaw guys, motubo ng kanang psilocybin mushroom or PCP. So kana siya guys, dili kay siya more on addictive jud, pero ano gyapon siya guys, kanang maka create na siya kanang hallucination sa isa ka tao. Halimbawa imong pananaw ng mukaon ka ng mushroom is ana ako ang kuan kanang naay nagsulti pod sa kuha nga mag rainbow daw imong pananaw, mura daw kanang hayag kay imong pananaw ba. Then naputay ginatawag og inhalants. So are a vast range of chemicals that are ingested primarily by breathing them in or huffing. So kaning inhalants mo ning kanang ginasimot na to. Most inhalants are commonly used material that are in no way designated to be ingested by humans. So dili siya pwede kaunon sa tao. While there is incredible variety between inhalants, most produce feelings of a high. Makahay gyapon siya bisag ginasimot lang siya. Inhalants are less studied than most other drugs, while they tend to be less addictive than many other substances. So dili kay siya, wala kay siya ginastudihan kay dili man kay siya kanang addictive, dili siya pareha sa uban nga substance. The use of inhalants is incredibly dangerous and causes many serious health effects. Example of commonly abused inhalants include kanang kuan ni siya guys, kanang imong utok ani is mura jud kanang mahay bitaw gid gyapon ka. Example ani kay mga kanang paint thinner, kanang nail polish remover, or kanang gas or crudo. Mao na siya ang example sa inhalants guys. Pag simuto na nimo siya, may possibility nga kanang medyo mahay jud ka. So mao lang ta.